Okay, so Bianca, I know that you're working down in the Mekong Delta. What kinds of impacts are you witnessing there?
So the people in the Mekong Delta are experiencing the changes due to climate change very much already now. So they see that the climate itself is changing. The people are experiencing more droughts, but also more storms and more intense storms. And they also have the problem that the protective belt of mangroves, which used to be there, was cut down for the shrimp ponds. The aquaculture, especially in Sokchang provinces where we are working. And so the people have the experience that they are not protected from the storms, from the sea levels, from the storm surges as well. So what we are trying to do is to encourage the people to plant more mangroves, to have a better management of the mangroves. So what we are implementing there is the co-management model. That means we are involving the local population in the management of the resources of the mangrove forests and the aquatic resources, because we believe it's important that the people who are living down there are involved in the management. And that means the co-management models actually brings together the local people and the local authorities to work together. So they negotiate agreements together. They are officially recognized as user groups, and they get the legal rights to use the forest in terms of when they also take the responsibility to sustainably manage the forest and the aquatic resources.
And this emphasis on co-management, on the participation of local communities, is that a recent development, or is that something that's been there since the start of adaptation work?
For Vietnam, co-management is quite a new concept. Co-management itself is not that new. It has successfully been implemented throughout the world. But for Vietnam, local participation is not very common. So it is quite a new concept which we are introducing. And we are usually the traditional management concept used to be either it was managed by the state, by the local authorities, or with the help of local, of international NGOs, it was given to the local communities. Both systems have their problems because usually both stakeholders do not have sufficient power or sufficient money, people or knowledge in terms of the local population to manage such an area. So the idea behind co-management is that local authorities and local populations are working together. They agree on how to manage an area in terms of, for example, a zonation concept, that there's a clear protection zone, that there's a sustainable use zone. So the advantage is that usually when you talk about the mangroves in Vietnam, you have a strict protection forest. That means actually each activity would be illegal. Of course, if you have the people living there in the coastal zone, you cannot completely exclude the people. They need to go into the forest, they need to collect the resources. So the idea is, by involving the people in co-management, giving them a legal and a secure access to the state-owned forest, and at the same time they have to take the responsibility sustainably managing the forest. So we have experienced quite good experiences actually with this concept. We have a pilot village in Outer Bay, and it works very well in terms of mangrove forest protection, but also have a sustainable livelihood and a sustainable income for the people, because they are allowed, they have a legal secure access to the forest and to the resources there.
And this conference is about learning lessons and about communication. What are you hoping to pick up here, and what lessons have you learned that you're able to bring to the conference?
I'm very much looking forward to hear about other experiences with working with local communities, because I think there's no one single solution that fits all. So I think it's very important to share the individual experiences, and I think also the different areas, not only within Vietnam, but also throughout the world. You have to find individual concepts, and I think this might be very interesting to exchange with the other participants here about their lessons learned. And maybe I can contribute from our experience in Sokchang as well.
Bianca, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thanks.